Welcome to yet another episode of the Dead Road Podcast with Harold Moyo. And today I have Seta. Big Betty!
What's good,
Did I greet you?
Yeah.
Did I give you?
Yeah, you did, man.
Touch my blood. Touch my blood. Woo!
I think you're too excited, Harry.
No.
I think you're too excited.
No, you know why?
Why?
The men I met
Okay.
initially,
Yeah.
and the men you are right now.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you make me want to pull up my pants.
Yo.
You make me want to pull up my pants. You make me want to, like sometimes, it's good to have people around you
Yeah.
who make you check yourself. If you need to shave your armpit,
Yeah.
apply a bit of roll-on. And,
you need such people.
Yeah, you
Be
need,
like, yo, bro, come on. Shave a little bit.
Shave a little bit.
Yeah.
Big Betty. When I met you, you were a tiny Betty.
I was really tiny, bro. I was really. What year did we meet?
I think it was 2012.
2012 or 2011, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you might have come through 2011, but I met you in Limpopo 2012.
Okay.
Because I remember very well
Yeah.
at that time.
This man has been busy. He was bringing like a really popular artist to Limpopo.
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
Yeah, no, that was always the plan, to always make sure that all these people we get them in all these spaces, which seem like impossible, because there's a population in Limpopo, there's a population everywhere, so you have to bring in people there. I have a thing which I always do when I start with my guests.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And I want to kind of like understand their names, what they mean, right? Obviously, Big Betty. For people who do not know, Seta has got a nickname called Big Betty. He calls himself Big Betty, So, Big Betty, your name is Seta.
Yes.
What does Seta mean?
I'm gonna lie to you, bro. I'm gonna lie to you. My grandfather's name, that's my mom's dad.
Yes.
His name was Seta.
Okay.
That's Seta.
Yeah.
And I was just named Seta.
Okay.
Sort of after him. Even his middle name, I got that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where the name Seta comes from.
So you do not know what Seta means?
Not at all.
But
I like it.
Do you know what Sieta means?
No.
Okay, what's your middle name?
You mean Sieta?
Yeah.
Oh, like a shoe, Sieta. That's Seeta.
Okay,
That's
so
Sieta. It means shoe.
it means shoe.
Yeah. Don't no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, Harry. We're not doing that. This is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're closing it right. Yeah.
No. You know why? I'm gonna run with my name train, because I always believe like names are prophetic.
Mean something. Yeah.
Yeah, and they always mean something. So in as much as you want to close this now, don't you think also, even if you do not understand what it means, guess what?
Yeah.
Your name has traveled. There is definitely hundreds of thousands of people who know you in South Africa and beyond.
Yeah.
If one thing about how our Southern Africa space is that if you are known in South Africa, you are definitely known in Zimbabwe, Malawi, Zambia, Botswana, and then the other fake provinces, which are Namibia, Swaziland, and Lesotho.
Yes.
You are definitely known. So we will run with that. We'll say your name is traveled. So it was prophetic, and I know you don't want to tell us your middle name.
Thank you.
So you grew up in Limpopo, Seshego?
Yes, I did. That's where I was born and raised until I became a man. Yeah.
Until you become a man. So definitely greatness comes from Seshego.
100%. Facts. Facts.
Because people always only know the CIC.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. Like, and it happens a lot. Like, they'll ask you, where you from? I'm like, Seshego. They're like, oh, where CIC comes from?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, definitely. We're actually from the same zone, crazy enough.
We're actually from the same zone.
Yeah.
And before we've already gotten into this chat, but as a big bro, I just want to tell you that I'm proud of you.
How we starting this podcast at the end?
No, we are not going to the end. I want to tell you I'm proud of you.
Okay.
Because, people get familiar.
Yeah.
People get familiar with the people around them.
Yeah.
And they do not recognize greatness when greatness is around them.
Was your plan like, I'm gonna make this man cry? When he gets here, he will know me. I'm ready for him.
No, because people do not know, right?
Yeah.
But you've always been given a gift to communicate. We can call you an orator if you want, be it say. But you probably were raised by hip hop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So I want to bring that side of Big Daddy. When people, before TikTok was there,
Yeah.
before Mark Zuckerberg decided to buy Instagram and make it famous,
Yes.
you were in Limpopo. And please give us that journey until the time when I met you. When I met you, you were a rap artist.
A lot of people don't know that, bro.
And I know a lot of people don't know that. But though these are the stories which are wholesome.
Yeah.
Because usually people always see this finished man.
Yeah.
But they do not know that finished man also is still on a journey, but also is coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Who did you grow up with in Seshego?
My mother. I grew up with my mother and two sisters. Yeah, that's my upbringing, basically, in a nutshell.
That's your upbringing, basically, in a nutshell.
My mother raised me.
Okay. And growing up with your mother and two sisters, is there any male figures around you who are probably creating this man? Because you are so passionate about manhood.
Yeah.
You're so passionate about men stepping up and men being whole for themselves and their partners and their communities. Is there men around you? I know why I'm asking you that.
I know why you're asking too.
Yeah.
I think on a primary level, no. But I had my I used to call him my grandfather, but he was basically my aunt's husband. He raised me. I had their son. We call him Big Brother. Like all of us, we just call him Booty. Like that's those are the two main people that raised me. And also growing up, have an encounter with the Lord. Some figures in the church also raised me. I need to give them props for that. That's basically the male figures that I have. And I think the reason I have this passion to, impart and empower the boy child is because I know what the lack of does. The lack of it, I know what it does. So that's why I have, such a passion for, young men growing up right, having healthy relationships, because I know what it looks like when there is no father, when there is no uncle or grandfather. Yeah.
That's amazing, because one thing about growing up without affirmation of male figures around you is either you start acting out in your teen years.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen in your teen years,
Yeah.
it comes in your early 20s when you now have a bit of cash, you know?
Yeah.
Or it can happen right through even in marriage.
100%.
And the funny thing about how God created man, actually human beings, is that he knew that we needed communities around us. We needed parenting around us.
Yes.
You know, we needed fathers around us to come up and walk with us and teach us. And we needed people like you who are vocal, you know, around us. And I appreciate people like you who actually would decide, okay, you know what, we're going to adopt even randoms,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And I've seen it with you even adopting people who fight you, will stone you. And then after a period of time,
Yeah.
after maybe 6 months or so, the same person comes up and says, you are telling the truth.
Yeah.
You know? And with this platform which you have, right? How would you marry that to, in as much as you said, yes, there was people in the faith,
Yeah.
there were your uncles,
Yeah.
how would you marry that to the lessons which you learned in Limpopo there from the people in the faith and from the uncles, where there is, did life lessons happen when you're now in Joburg, or the root was really from obviously the absence thereof, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
or also it was more like a journey in a way?
It's a process. It's been a process from the start. I don't believe it, and I don't like it, and I'm actually against it when people are like, I'm self-made. I can never say that. And anyone who says that is lying.
Yeah.
You are a direct product of the people around you. Whether good or bad, actually, that's the crazy part. Whether they had a positive or a negative impact over you, are a product of the things around you. So even the lack or the having, they mold you, they make you who you are. So for me to have a platform where I am, you know, like you said, I get stoned a lot. You know, I get like negative remarks from dudes, and I'm like, in response, because I think a while ago I would, you know, be reactive and, you know, try to stoop to their level.
Because you're big petty.
Yeah, because why are you talking to me that way?
Yeah.
Like, let's meet up.
Yeah.
I need you to talk to me like that.
Send
to my
me your
face.
location right
You
now.
know, that's my first.
Yeah.
That's my first instinct. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, let's meet up, and I need you to, those things that you're commenting, talk to me, show me. But now I think growing up, I'm like, are you okay, bro? Like, no, for real. Like, are you okay? Like, do you need someone to listen to you? And that's the type of approach that I use now. And crazy enough, you know, they would respond to the comment or the DM and be like, nah, actually, I'm not okay, bro. My girlfriend dumped me a month ago, and, you know, these are the reasons, blah, blah, blah. And we try to navigate, and you know, I have a lot of people who I talk to on a regular basis who we didn't start off okay, you know, but because they see that, you know, the things that I share, I'm not just sharing those things for the sake of, you know, whatever platform I'm sharing those things on. I'm sharing them because some of those things I've lived them, some of them I've seen them, and we all need someone. We all need someone to listen to us. So it's a process. It's a process. It didn't just start now when I'm older. I mean, you know, it's things that I've acquired along the way.
And, you know, there's a lot of things which you say there which I want to pick up, right? But before I grab them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What made you leave Limpopo to Joburg?
Yeah.
Because there's a story which I heard.
Gauteng, Harry, Gauteng.
You know, to Gauteng, you know,
Yes.
I know Pretoria, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but Pretoria and Joburg are the same thing.
No, they're not.
You know, to
They're-
Tshwane.
Day and night, they are not the same day.
Yeah. What made you to leave Pretoria and to Tshwane? Because There is a story which I heard that you left because of a woman. you came here because of a woman.
Why are you putting it that way, man? I met this amazing person, man.
Where?
I met this amazing person on Instagram years ago, before Instagram was actually popular.
Yeah.
And we started talking, and yeah, man, it was amazing. Since then, we exchanged numbers, and we dated for a year and a half. And after that, we decided that it's best that I move to Pretoria, move this side, and yeah, and we got married like a year after that, actually.
Yeah, no, when you know, you know.
Yeah, when you know, bro.
When you know, you know.
Like when you know.
The reason why I'm bringing up your wife, right?
Before you speak, why do you think some dudes take longer? You just said a really relevant line. When you know, you know. Why do you think some dudes take longer to commit?
I feel because they're still trying to look around for a suitable option.
Okay.
That's most of the time.
Yeah.
Or it's either there's something which is engraved in them that a man is supposed to be at a financial, some sort of financial position.
Yes.
Of which, yes, there is some responsibility which you're supposed to have as a man.
Yeah.
But I do not believe that any woman who loves a man truly would wait for a man to earn 1.5 million a year for them to actually commit to them. Women only want to see movement.
Yes.
They only want to see motion.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of women willing to marry dudes who earn 10 times lesser than them, as long as the dudes are great stewards.
Yes.
And the dudes are just responsible. So there's a myth which we're taught as men that we are males or men because of our financial status.
Yes.
Of which is not true.
Yes.
But also, sometimes, even when you embark on any project, the only way to finish that project is to start.
Yeah.
If you do not start,
you're gonna be
saying, I've
I
always wanted to do this thing.
Yeah.
And I definitely believe that within the first 180 days max, which is 6 months, you already know if you want to put up with this person, be patient with this person, love this person, and have funny, crackle things with this person within the first 180 months.
Okay. So if it's more than that, we need to sit down and have a conversation.
You definitely need to sit down and have a conversation. And the funny part is, I feel if a man has embraced that in the first 6 months or so, that's going to make our sisters uneasy.
Yeah.
And our sisters, actually, most of them, they know the truth.
Yeah. No, trust.
Yeah.
Oh no, a woman knows.
Yes.
A woman knows. I think even with them, it's even fewer. I don't even think it's more than 180 days for them. I think they instinctively know that this person is for me. Yeah.
So they will know that So with dudes, we definitely know, but that pressure of us being the macho providers, of which the world has changed, bro.
100%.
The world has changed. Actually, you are staying right here, in the east of Pretoria, which is almost equivalent of the north of Joburg.
Yeah.
You know that it's just right in the east. When you come out, it's mostly women doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
So do you think those women are just going around looking for Pudimadlis? No, they actually just want a man who can be a man.
Who can be a man, And we're not even talking money.
No, we're not talking money. Finances come later because, brother, is women who are willing to come up and give their salaries, and actually you just become a good steward of those salaries.
Ooh, yeah, so good.
And the only reason why women now hold back of those salaries is because you're not a good steward initially. Ooh. You weren't able to manage because we are managers by nature. They are naturers. They make sure that staff environment grows.
They multiply.
They multiply.
Yeah.
We are managers. We know how to lead. We know how to delegate. We know that's our gifting. That's how we're made.
Yeah.
So most of the time, dudes know.
Yeah.
So when you say in a year, and also in your year, I bet you in that year, it wasn't even if you could have done.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been done way, way earlier than that. Yeah.
It could have been done way earlier.
Yeah.
So the dynamics of you moving from limps, to come into Gauteng,
Yeah.
those were different dynamics because also you're trying to familiarize with the territory.
Yeah.
You're also trying to make sure that you're gonna get bread, and you do your thing, and you got your bread. You are here.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Man, I remember. I just need to highlight this when on the day of the interview for the job, so that I can move this side. Man, this woman made me breakfast, bro. I can't get this out of my head. She made me breakfast, and she prayed with me. Like, she prayed that I would get the job, and I did. Like, no, I just wanted to put that out there. Like, I remember it vividly. I remember what I was wearing. I remember what she was wearing. Like, she cooked for me breakfast, and she prayed with me. Not a lot of people can say that, and that's another thing that alerted me that this person is for you.
Wow.
And
when she was praying with you, she wasn't praying with Seta, who's already got his stacks in a row.
No.
His Benjamins in a row.
No, I didn't. I wasn't bowling.
Yeah.
I wasn't bowling. And I'm grateful that, she was gracious of the period that I was in that time of my life, and she wanted me to come this side and be closer to her, because we would see each other like once a month, like she would come that side, I would come this side. Yeah, and this is where we are now.
Yeah, and I've got this thing which I stand on, is that I know I've dropped a lot of balls, right? Just in life, in marriage, and everything else and all.
Yeah.
But I've got this thing which I stand on, and I truly, truly believe this, especially as a person of the faith, as a believer, that when you find someone who's of the faith, that is such a plus, which is underrated.
Yeah.
That's like a relationship hack which you want, which
cheat
is
code, man.
It's like a cheat code. But now, guess what?
Yeah.
This cheat code actually only applies if both these individuals actually live what this faith is about.
100%. 100%, yeah.
We're not coming here to say, holy thou, my wife, whatever, shut up. No, we're just basically saying, just be patient.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah.
Be loving.
Yeah.
Of which, at times I'm not loving, but the thing is, when I'm listening to you, I'm listening to someone. Her first response was, I'm not going to give this man a job.
Yeah.
But I know who's going to give this man a job.
Yeah. I am under authority. There's someone who is greater than both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's priceless.
And then she prays for you. And now, when you get the limelight, you know what you do.
Yeah.
You reward her by bringing the hidden wisdom.
Yeah.
Right now, 2 hours ago, you sent me a message to say she was having an interview with a national broadcaster.
Yeah.
Because you were like, okay, cool. She came and soared into my life.
Yeah.
And when I come and, soar back.
100%, bro. 100%. And my wife, she has so much to give. She has so much to give. My wife is a light to so many. She's transforming. She's an introvert, but she is, transforming so many lives with the light that is on the inside of her. My wife enters a room and the room is just brighter. Like, you just feel like the weight has been lifted when she enters the room, man. She's brilliant. She has an incredible mind. But her personality as well, it's just breathtaking. That's just the person that she is.
Sure. And the reason, you see, even if you say, I'm supposed to say things which are at the end of the broadcast now, no, I'm proud of you because you know what?
Yeah.
Influence is not because of age or how long someone has gone with the journey.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting with my lighty, who just have more guns than me, and they're saying
And
that
a fresher beard.
and the fresher beard,
Yeah.
it's because you put chemicals. I don't. You know, it's just when you are in the presence of royalty, you basically just want to shape up also and be royalty.
Yeah.
You know, so that's beautiful. This is why it's humbling, because now for me it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, there's some people who are better at being good financial stewards.
Yes.
There's some people who are just better at loving their wives.
Yeah.
You always have to have people around you who are just better at loving their wives.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
and so that when you look at them, you'll be like, I want to model them.
Yeah.
You know, this is for all the brothers out there. You
Yeah.
need to have people around you where you know that, okay, do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're divorced,
Yeah.
but you know, sometimes you do not have to wait to get into the ring to know how to throw punches.
Box. Yeah.
You always have to see, okay, this is how Anthony Joshua is doing it. This
Yeah.
is how who have a Tyson Fury is doing it.
Yes.
And
I
when
can
you
learn a thing or two.
learn a thing or two, even if you were bruised before,
Yes.
you come up and you see, okay, this is how this thing is done, and
You're
then
preaching now.
You can learn a thing or two. Bro, I'm a
Preaching.
pastor,
Yeah.
so you know what it is.
All you need is like boxing gloves and a mic, and then
Yeah.
that's a sermon.
That's a
right
sermon
there
right
about
there.
Boxing. Yeah. For real, man.
Hopefully, I wouldn't build a ring behind. those pastors go.
Yeah,
all the
no, we know them.
excessive
No,
way.
we know them. We
They
know
go
them. They shall not be
They shall
mentioned.
not be
Yeah, yeah,
mentioned.
they shall not be named. It's fine.
Yeah, we know them.
Yeah.
Angel. Yeah.
In as much as you are proud of me, man, I need to tell you how much I am proud of you. Like, I'm really proud of you, man. You've come a long way, and one thing that has been consistent about you is something that the Lord is passionate about, which is fellowship. You've been about that since I met you. You are passionate about bringing people together to celebrate, to dance, to speak, and now the journey that you've embarked on is bringing people all over the world, because anyone can see this podcast and have their life transformed. So I just want to say that I'm proud of you for being so consistent to the call that God has for you, which is bringing people together to impart, to nourish, you are doing that, and I pray that you never stop.
Thank you, bro. Now you want to make me cry. now you want to make me cry. So you meet this girl on Instagram, and there's a myth. There's also
woman.
Well, she was a girl at that time. Or she was already a woman.
Man, I'm sure she's been a woman since like day one, man. Like that's how amazing. But I need you to meet her, man. We should double date. I need you to meet my wife. Like, you'll understand why, like, I can't stop talking about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been years and I still talk about her. That's how amazing she is.
The funny part is that since you've come to Pretoria, you've always wanted to make plans to see me.
Yeah.
Something always happens.
Yeah.
Something always happens. I remember there was the last time I was doing something in Pretoria East, and you're like, I'm coming, and then on your way, something happened. But you've always wanted to, But
let's set it up, man. Let's set it up.
We'll definitely set it up. But my thing is, there's especially amongst Christians, there's a fear of meeting people online. But my thing is, we are in a different age. How do you feel? I know you are very liberal. with a lot of things. So some of them I won't even talk about.
Yeah.
Actually,
we'll talk about them.
I need you. I need to come. I need to bring you back.
Okay.
So you can just host this.
Okay.
And you talk
you want
about.
Me to take over.
Yes. No. Take over. I'm not gonna be here.
Okay.
I need to bring you back so you can come take over and you talk about your things, your liberal, stuff which are liberal about sex, and all the other things and stuff and all stuff which I'm not qualified to talk about. You see, if a big brother is not, you see what I'm saying? I'm not qualified.
Big brother's not qualified.
No, big brother's not qualified to talk about that. So, would you encourage any of your sisters, your nieces, to say, I'd go the online dating route, to run with it?
Yes, but add extra caution.
Mm-hmm.
There are a bunch of weirdos out there.
Mm-hmm.
We love people. People are amazing,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a bunch of weirdos out there, bro. So use caution. Like when you're texting, this is to all the sisters. When you're texting whoever, asking to meet up, you guys haven't met before. You met on Instagram or TikTok or wherever. Use caution, bro. Find out about that person if you can. Like, do research as much as possible because it's not safe out there for the girl child. It's not safe for our sisters, unfortunately, and I think maybe on a different episode we need to address that. We need to speak to our brothers because we can't continue to tell our sisters, dress this way, you'll be less revealing or appeasing, hide so that you're not, kidnapped, or we can't continue to speak to women when we're supposed to be addressing the man. Stop what you're doing. Change your life. But back to your question, use caution when you're talking to whoever, so that you don't get swindled, your money or yourself, or get assaulted, or I don't know, man. It's crazy out there. So I would say yes because it worked for me and it worked for a bunch of others. I know people who've met on Facebook and Instagram and they are married and they have successful relationships. So I will say yes, but be really careful.
Yeah.
Like, do as much research as you can on the person that you're talking to, and the person wants to meet up. Okay, why do they want to meet at this time? Why do they want to meet at this place? This place is suspected to be, kidnapping spot or something. Find out. But I will say yes. There are amazing people out there you will meet only online. And, I don't like the notion that we have as Christians that, the only place to meet a wife or a husband is at church.
Which is a hospital.
Bro, people are sick, man. We are all sick. We're all sick. And, you're not always going to find your spouse at church raising their hands, lifting them up to Jesus. I don't agree with that. I know people who have healthy, amazing relationships. They've met at clubs. They've met at parks, at coffee shops, in a taxi. I know those people. So don't limit yourself. This is to, my brothers.
We're not saying go to a club now. Don't bring your liberal self here, young bro.
Hey, man. But, think outside of the box. If it's not working for you and you've dated, the brothers in church and it hasn't worked out for you, maybe the person that you're looking for is not necessarily in your church.
That's cool. So I'm going to ask you a question, right? Of what's been the most difficult thing you've experienced in marriage? Because you look like you are all honky-dory and lovey-dovey, right? But before you ask, I just want to go back to brothers manning up and pulling up their socks, right? I obviously had to step down from ministry for a period of time. And where I see it, the problem is where it started was, and I'm not even trying to be all Christian and cliche. When I see it is that, sometimes when scripture says some things, we think scripture is just a suggestion. And I'm like, maybe if I just known my wife only, maybe there's a lot of things. If I maintain that self-control before she even came,
Yeah.
you know, before I even got married a decade ago or so,
Yeah.
because the self-control doesn't start when I'm in the union,
Yeah.
right? Self-control starts out
that.
before,
Yeah.
right? Before I even when I'm saying I'm celibate or I'm a virgin whatsoever,
Yeah.
what are other things which require my self-control, which I'm actually exercising? So I look at it and I see there's a lot of brothers struggling with a lot of things,
Yeah.
but it's because they do not know where the root cause was. And they trying to deal with fixing now
Yeah.
when the root cause was initially
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then now you have to go 20 years ago, you have to start fixing it. Yes, when you start fixing it, people will still look at you like, that Harold, that's Seta. But they do not know 20 years from now,
Your uncle touched you.
you know. And
Was that too real?
It's actually, it's too real.
Yeah.
It's too real. It's too real because, those are realities.
Yeah.
Those are realities which we as brothers have gone through,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And now we have to heal from that
Yeah.
and deal with that, right? And then we have to heal from the perspective and the notion of now men become men because of beard or whatever, looking good.
Yes.
But
Nice car.
Nice car, whatsoever. But back in the day, it was one of those things, as long as you've got a
Yeah.
lot of them around you.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of stuff which we have to unlearn as men, and of which even now, 38, I'm still unlearning.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm still unlearning. I still have to fight every day.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I have to impress myself
Yeah.
first, and then my family, and then my children's children, and then the community. Because the thing is that, when you're given platforms, you want to impress the community.
The community first.
The community first, when
Yeah.
you haven't really looked at yourself. So there's a lot of things which, as brothers, we have to go and look at what is the root.
How do you think the proper way of doing that looks like? What do you think they should do? I hear you. How do they look for the root?
Okay, so let me tell you. I'm going to come home
Okay.
here.
Okay.
With me, I was away. I knew what it was, right? But when crap hit the fan, you have to clean up the crap, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're cleaning up the crap for, again, the masses. You're not cleaning up the crap for you.
Yeah.
So I feel in solitude, in good times and in bad times,
Yeah.
you actually need to do a yearly stocktake. Because you know yourself.
Yeah.
You know who you are. And sometimes it might not even be hurting sisters or whatsoever, of which unfortunately most male traumas result in hurting sisters.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it might just even be hurting yourself. So I definitely feel just like how I go every 6 months to go check out my sugar levels, my, if I've got any HIV, STDs or whatsoever, I do that every 6 months, right? I feel brothers need to be intentional in doing that to make sure that, okay, cool, have I done progress in not texting random women?
Yeah.
Have I done progress in not chatting up women even when I'm with people?
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes even, if you're a flirt, you're a flirt. Sometimes you end up being flirting even in front of your people.
Yeah.
And you just have to then just be honest with yourself. Sometimes it might look like it's small steps.
Yeah.
There is some steps where I'm like, I'm better than I was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for them. And there's some steps where I'm like, okay, we still have to work
Still
here.
have to work on this.
We still have to work on this. So that's me.
Okay. What are your thoughts? I hear you, and I 100% agree with you. Doing your physical. Checking your sugar, checking your your glucose, of course. What do you think about checking mentally, like where you're at mentally as well?
So I am not well versed with that,
Okay.
right? I remember the first time I even went to see someone
Yeah.
was because on the people who were working with me during my fall and everything else, they recommended that I go there,
Okay.
right? And it was just a weird situation. But guess what? In as much as it was a weird, this thing was all popular.
Yeah.
It was all popular. People were like saying Jesus and therapy,
Yeah.
wherever, and you are aware again, but it's not being exercised.
Yeah.
So for me, it ended up being then now, maybe let me go the traditional route.
Okay.
Because this route, yes, I can pay $1,000 to see
someone, yeah.
to see someone, and then you hear people were like, there is people around. There's other people you can see for free or whatsoever. Sadaq and stuff, and all those
Yes,
people.
yes.
I didn't know that because it also depends on the area which you live in.
Yes.
But in my area, there's a lot of them. It's like it's famous. There's a lot of them, but a lot of them, that means your money also is moving.
Yeah.
So what I then did for myself when the bank was low, because also you remember in the fall I had to also like chill in terms of like work and some other stuff.
Yeah.
When
So
the
money
bank-
wasn't coming
when
in.
when my money wasn't coming in. So when the cash was low, I basically like consistently made sure that I see someone, whether it was my pastor, with my pastor now, who I would go and sit down with every week.
Yeah. Sure.
So yes, there is that spiritual one, but there's also the professional ones, which is very important.
Yeah.
So now because now at least the rent is now nice. I'm actually wanting to go see someone professionally for an issue which happened 34 years ago.
Sure. You were 4 at the time. Are you speaking in general?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was about 4 or 5 years old because I remember where we're staying. So I'm remembering the years there. So I was about 4 or 5 years old at the time. So I'm about to then start paying for someone for an issue which happened 4 or 5 years ago.
It's crazy.
Sorry, 33 years ago.
Yeah.
Because now I can actually
Afford it,
afford it and stuff. So I'm not a pro in talking about it.
Yes.
I wouldn't come up here and act like I know.
No,
but it's
I
something.
appreciate.
It
I
is something. It is something I know I have to do because I also create groups. I also create like safe platforms for brothers. I've seen how when brothers come up and talk.
Yeah.
When they just talk, I've seen what it does to them.
Yeah.
So for me now, I'm going now to deal with something from
back
34
then, yeah.
34 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm grateful that you were able to share what you can share. Shout out to you for that. Did you have any support of people around you during that time, or it was just solitude all the way?
I'm not going to lie and say it was 100% solitude, but you know what?
Yeah.
As I say, when God gives you a platform,
Yeah.
when you go through stuff,
Yeah.
you feel like all these people are going to be there.
Yeah. In the meantime.
My man,
Yeah.
those people didn't know that Bryanston address.
Yeah.
The funny part though is that also God started bringing in new people.
Yeah.
People were like, we've known you from a distance, but we see this A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
And because some people come up and say, this is what I went through, but I'm like 40 years now married with my wife or whatever it is, And it was definitely lonely.
Yeah.
Because also, like you lose a lot of family and friends.
Yeah.
Who have become family.
Yeah.
Some of them rightly so. Because sometimes, we have to understand that just because you mess up, that doesn't mean that everyone will be there. You have to
Yes.
understand that when you're fully healed or you're in your process of healing, you
Yeah.
have to understand why those people left.
Yeah, and you shouldn't like hold it against them. Type of a
Yes,
thing.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. During the time it pains.
Yeah, no, it's painful. Like you're supposed to be here with me,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But you're writing a status about me.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. During that time is pains, but you have to then understand later on to say, actually, maybe they were going through pain also.
Yes. Ooh, that's good.
You know,
That's good. Like you're putting yourself in their shoes.
they were going through
Yeah.
pain. Like, if you're disappointed, you do not know how someone acts out when they're disappointed.
100%.
So yeah, so it wasn't 100%, but it was maybe 98% solitude.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
You're switching up on me, yeah?
No. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm again, man. I'm really proud of you, man. Like, it takes guts. I almost said balls. Is it fine? It takes balls. Okay, I said it anyway. It takes balls, man, to after being through what you've been through, to still, speak about it in a way that you do, and you still have that passion for people. I don't know if I went through something like that, I would still feel the same way about people. I don't know. Maybe I'd need like tons of therapy to still have a heart for people. But like if I've been through something like that and I feel neglected and abandoned by people, I don't know. So I need to give you props for still being here, because some of us, like, if we go through something like that, we don't want anything to do with ministry or whatever, the place was that reminds us of, events that happened. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to you for still being here, for still, chasing after God and his people. So props to you.
Yeah. And one thing which you have to understand, Seta, is that also the motivation has never been platform,
Sure.
right? We create platforms to maybe scale whatever we bring,
Yeah.
or to do reach for whatever
Yeah.
we bring.
Yeah.
And in as much as the motivation has never been platform, but when you understand what your motivation or the passion was or is,
Yeah.
you have to understand also that when you're dealing with people, you're dealing with people,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
You are a person yourself. Because the same person who might have stoned me,
Yeah.
right, because of the mess I did,
Yeah.
number one. So let's not try and nap up and act like, no, because of the mess which you
There was a
created.
mess that you did.
Yeah, there's a mess which you created,
Yeah.
right, which you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I do not have any power to pick up a stone
Yeah.
and throw it at the same person
Yeah.
tomorrow if they go through that mess.
Sure.
The power which I have is to bring them in and love them.
Yeah.
So we are for the people. If you're a true believer, you are just supposed to be for the people,
Yeah.
because that's what we are supposed to do: create communities, disciples,
100%.
and
Yes.
and we grow and we grow and we grow and we grow and we grow.
Yeah.
And you know me, my community has always been mostly urban.
Yeah.
That's people who are not illiterate. That's people who are vocal. So I have to expect them being vocal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's people with resources. I have to expect all those things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those things which I to understand myself. And some of them, they'll come right now and they'll give them a hug. Painfully so.
Sure.
But I'll give them a hug. But back to my question, don't forget, what's the most difficult thing you've experienced in marriage?
I'll answer that.
Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson? What's the biggest lesson you've learned in solitude? Because you were not like hibernating and sleeping for months. You were going through the process, probably unlearning stuff, thinking about stuff. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned there?
Number one, there's 3 lessons.
3.
Maybe even more.
Let's go.
Number one, biblical principles
Yeah.
are for us,
Yeah.
not to limit us, not to destroy us.
Yeah.
They're for us. So if we follow them, they will save us from a lot of rubbish.
Okay.
Number 2, family first. Forget about the rest.
Sure.
Even if you sell out the calabash,
Yeah.
96,000, right?
Yeah.
Soccer City.
Yeah.
Remember family first.
Sure.
Because I was alone in that house during that time.
Yeah.
But guess what? A week later, guess who comes back to that house? Family.
Yeah.
And they held me down during that time.
Yeah.
You know, waking up, seeing my girls. That's some medicine which I didn't know that I needed.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And number 3.
And I'm sure you felt like you lost everything until a week later that happened.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the third one is there is good people out there.
Yeah.
There might be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But you remember that Good Samaritan
Sure.
parable story?
Sure.
There's always good people.
Yeah.
Because the pastor I'm under right now, I've said this before, Timber Manana,
Yeah.
he wasn't coming up and say, we celebrate what you did.
Yeah.
And the man was getting reports and reports. Also, another thing with platform, if you're reckless, you would use it.
Yeah.
The man was getting reports and reports, and
Yeah.
the man was coming up with truth
Yeah.
to me, right? But in as much as bringing up truth to me, he was still being patient with it. Like,
Yeah.
let's walk.
Yeah.
You know, imagine this is a man you didn't know before.
Yeah.
He just comes up in the thick of things, and then he still holds your hand and says, "Let's walk.
Yeah.
Let's not." So those are the lessons. And besides those lessons, I will always say it is easy to run away from the faith when you go through stuff because you don't want to be accountable.
Yeah.
Or
Definitely.
you want to just actually continue doing whatever
Doing what you're doing. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But do not run away.
Yeah.
You're gonna go through it. You're gonna somehow at a certain point you're gonna be whole.
Yeah.
You know? Because I also I've got a pastor friend, I think he was in the States at that time, from Malawi. He told me, you haven't started dealing with this stuff right now.
Yeah.
This thing is just public, so don't lie to yourself. You're gonna start dealing with this stuff when everyone is forgotten.
Yes.
And by the
It's
way,
just you.
some people won't forget.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
some will never forget, even 20 years from now. But when it's now just you, you're gonna then start really dealing with it.
Sure.
Right now, it's you can do it for the public, but
Yeah.
then
Yeah. There's only so much you can do for the public.
Yeah, there's a time when you can start then really dealing with it for yourself.
real,
But the
bro.
things that we know your heart.
Yeah.
And whatever people can say, we know your heart. Yeah.
So good. Yeah, we can wrap it up now.
What's the most difficult thing you've gone through in your marriage? I asked this thing 30 minutes ago, I
You
think.
did. You did.
Yeah.
The most difficult thing, I think, unlearning a lot of things, because we are so used to doing things how we do them, but you don't know how, for example, how unhealthy whatever that thing is, and I think we need to realize that your partner's unlearning, you are unlearning, and there will be friction in between. You're going to clash a lot of times. Like, for example, our biggest maybe disagreements or arguments, probably pride. Very prideful. Like, I won't apologize.
Sure.
You are the one who hurt me. why should I apologize? And vice versa. We've been through, many motions and seasons where pride was the biggest issue that we had, and we had to unlearn that. We're still unlearning that. Let me not sit up here and
Like you're
lie
right.
to you and say we are not, still going through a process of unlearning, our pride. Like, okay, he hurt me. This is her maybe. Like, he hurt me. Gonna give him the silent treatment. That's pride, and it's not healthy. I'm gonna keep quiet. So that he can understand how angry I am right now. That's not healthy. Christians, silent treatment is not healthy. Whether or not the person is wrong or not, it doesn't matter. Your reaction shouldn't be, it. Where in a relationship has silent treatment helped a relationship? I'll wait.
Woo! I think let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
And also, man, I think this is another struggle, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. Have you ever, had an incident with your partner, and I don't know, maybe they're shouting? This is just a silly example. This is coming on the top of my head. Maybe they're shouting at you because you spilled coffee and maybe you forgot to clean it, but the reaction doesn't match the issue, which is spilling of the coffee. The reaction sounds like this person is fighting with something or someone that happened in the past. Many of us are fighting our partners, but not really because of what our partners did. We're fighting them because we're triggered by unhealed things in us about the past. Maybe there's a certain word that reminds you of an assault that happened 20 years ago. But because you heard your partner say it, now it's a big fight. So I think one of the struggles is decluttering all of that. Okay, I get that you're upset, but this upset doesn't match what I just did right now. Like, you are too upset. Let's talk about that. I think that's one of our other struggles that we're still dealing with.
Sure.
Let me not lie and say we dealt with it, we're good now. We are like, no, we're still dealing with it. Man, marriage is not a destination, man.
Yeah.
Marriage is a whole journey. Like, a lot of us, I think that's why we glamorize weddings so much, because we have these amazing weddings, and let me say that weddings are beautiful. They're great. Weddings are, but the real work starts the day after.
Yes, after those two big weddings.
No, definitely. It starts the day after, and you are with your person. There's nobody there. There's no bridesmaids or groomsmen. It's just you. That's the real work when it's starting right there. You feel me? So marriage is not a destination. Marriage is a journey, a lifelong journey.
Whew. As we say it, right? Sorry, before I continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share this with any of your friends, your people, your social media.
Yeah.
Seta,
Yes, sir.
we are going to adopt you for a season.
Okay.
We're going to adopt you for a season. So as I said, because I'm not qualified, I think we know why we're not qualified, because this man made me start. He actually went in there and started asking me, But
You did very well.
Yes,
You did very well.
hopefully we will be qualified when we now come up and say we've won.
Yeah.
We've actually won, and we're actually seriously 100% clean.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to talk upon issues where you are not 100% with it. But anyways, you are coming back.
Okay.
And when you're coming back, I'm going to set you up with a guest.
Okay.
The guy's name is Dr. Teach.
Okay.
He's an author, also like you, but he's been married, I think, 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
He loves talking about sex. He's a pastor,
Shout out.
you know. So I think first one, I just want you and him because the manhood stuff will come in there.
Yeah.
And then second one will bring in his wife because
Okay.
she is brilliant too.
Oh, wow.
You know, called Dr. Francisca.
Yeah.
That one, maybe you might bring in your, you know, your flower also
Yeah.
too, and then you just come up and talk about this.
Okay.
But outside of that, I might just write you a check to have your own,
Yeah.
situation here, and you run with it at least for a year because you've got lots to give. There's lots for people to learn something. Actually, not. Let me just write you that check.
Write it up, man. Write that check up.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Do you have anything to say?
Do I have anything to say? Firstly, going back to what we spoke about dating, don't limit yourself. If you are single, don't limit yourself. Try out different avenues. You've never been to a coffee shop before, go there. There are some amazing people that you can meet there. And another thing, you are not a finished product and you will never be a finished product, but that shouldn't stop you from working on yourself. Keep on decluttering, keep on unlearning. If you can see someone professionally, please do that. I think those are my final words. Don't limit yourself and continue to work on yourself.
You see, the problem is you say something and then now I want to come in, but I'll keep myself.
We'll save it up for next
Yeah,
time.
I'll save it up for next time because when I was a teenager, I read a book called "I Kissed Dating Goodbye."
Oh.
And then this gentleman, afterwards, 2 decades later, comes up and he says, almost over a decade later,
Yeah.
or a decade and a half later, he comes up and he says all he wrote about, he doesn't believe it anymore.
Wow.
It is rubbish and everything else and all. And I know there's a group of people who do not believe, especially amongst the faith, who do not believe in the whole dating.
Yeah.
They believe it's all courtship and what and everything else. Hey, Nina, let people get their husbands and wives.
Come on now.
Ha!
Come on.
Because people always want to have all
Yeah.
this thing. And when we're saying dating, we're not saying go and just be with all Tom, Dick, and Larry.
Yes, we're definitely not saying that. Yeah.
We are just saying be friends with people.
Yeah.
Make sure that if there's someone who can jump outside that friend zone,
100%.
let them do.
Let them do so.
But actually be open to knowing people.
Yeah, man.
Because life is also beautiful. Yes, when you're alone, but it's also beautiful when you're with someone.
100%, man. Don't limit yourself because, in a way, you're limiting God. But anyway, that's a different topic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for having me.
Cool, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.